Hello, I'm Dean Johnson, and today we're going to be talking about painting surfaces, stretch canvases, hardboard. Alright, where to start? When you're at the store and you're buying canvases, they often look like this. They're wrapped in a plastic with a label on the front here. Usually in the less expensive canvases, this label means that there's something hidden underneath, a defect or something. So when you're buying it, make sure you check the corners if you can. Canvases have been really made cheap lately. They're made over in China and Vietnam. You get what you pay for in canvases, but really it's not that important to get a high quality canvas, because if the linen or the cotton isn't as stretched as it needs to be, you can just wet the back with a brush. Take a wet brush and cover it over and wait 24 hours and it'll be nice and stretched. Alright, let's talk about canvases. These canvases here are about 3/4 of an inch to 7/8. They vary in thickness and they're kind of inexpensive. This is what the back looks like. These little 8x10s are what I always paint on when I'm doing a practice or just playing around. Not really serious about painting, however you can make a very serious painting on there. It will hang on the wall just fine, and as long as you keep them small, under 24 by 24 or 18 by 24, you won't have too much warping problems. When you're buying a canvas, make sure that it's square. That's another problem they have, is they don't square up the canvases too well. I always put one facing this way and the other one facing this way, so that you can line them up and see if they're square, if you're going to have more than one canvas per painting. Make sure they all match. If you're going to go with a little bit bigger canvas, I would highly recommend 1.5 to 2.5 inches. This is an old Winsor Newton canvas I bought years ago. As you can see, let me show you the detail of this. You can see this canvas is well made, nice corners. Let me zoom in on that. Look at that quality. Alright, now let's look at the newer quality, the newer canvas. And let me show you the difference. As you can see, the quality has changed. If you're going to go with a real serious painting, go with 1.5 inches or bigger depth. That way the warping, you can keep the warping of the painting itself over the years under control. If you get a lot of warping, such as in a 3/4 inch thick canvas, this is some of the problems you can have. When it hangs on the wall, as you can see, it may be sticking out a bit compared to up here. Just make sure you take your time in picking out a canvas. Make sure it's square and put it on a flat surface and see if it is warped. These canvases are really nice. They come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Look at this cool one. Even the quality of the thick 1.5 inches is starting to, it's not as good as it used to be. If you're going with a really high quality painting, I would go with the very expensive keyed systems. That way, if the canvas over the years becomes a little limp, you can easily stretch it back out. My recommendations are pay for the most expensive canvas you can for a real painting. For your just practice paintings, these little 8x10s are superb. They don't cost but $2 or $3 a piece, and they're excellent. You can hang them anywhere. They don't require anything special. Alright, let's talk about hardboards. Here's a hardboard that I painted this painting on. With all canvas and painting materials, always look at the back. That's the most important part. Let's look at the back of these hardboards. As you can see, there's just a label in very dark material. What this material is, this is compressed sawdust that's been cooked and literally pressed into shape. There are no resins added, it's just sawdust with extremely high pressure. They claim that the hardboards won't warp, even the expensive ones, but I have found that if you were to have it on an angle, let's say you set it overnight like this, that's a little extreme, but if you were to have it on an angle in the morning, it would definitely be warped. However, the good thing about these hardboards is you just turn it the other way, it'll warp the other way. So just keep them on the flat, absolutely flat, or on a wall in a frame. But by themselves, if there's just the board itself, the flat board, what is that, 3/8 thick, then make sure it's in a frame. Well, that's my recommendations. Just remember, you can paint on anything. If you're going to sell paintings, go with a high quality canvas. If you're just playing around or painting for yourself, or anything works really, as long as you gesso it. And be careful when you buy something to look underneath the label, if possible. Feel it with your hands, because that's where they always put the funny thing. Till next time, Dean Johnson.